Hello everybody and welcome. My name is Rebecca from Sacred Reiki Healing and I'm so excited to be back and giving you another energy update for last week of February. I don't know about you, but I feel like this month always flies so fast. But I'm excited because I was checking in with our energies for this week, and I do feel like there's some exciting and also really needed themes energetically that are coming forward for us to truly let go of the old and to welcome in the new as we begin our next week into March. A new beginning awaits. So a lot of guidance that I was getting was allowing us to really go into the let go. How can we start letting go of these old themes in our lives, these old ways of being, these old perceptions, to clear and make space and make room for the new coming forward for us? So a couple of things that were coming forward was, what am I afraid most of when it comes to letting go? To what are we afraid to losing, right? So a lot of times when we close off a chapter or we're beginning to take those action steps towards doing so, we have almost that fear that kind of comes forward with that because it's familiar. We're used to feeling those ways. We're used to always doing things that way. And there's a bit of that trepidation before we take that next step forward and fully leave those patterns behind. And it's such a familiar thing to us that please don't feel you're alone in it. All of us face that trepidation when we're about to embark on something new. So know that those feelings that might be coming up this week are totally natural, and to honor how you feel, okay? Really was feeling that coming forward. But I want to read you this. It says, as we grow, change, and transform our lives, it requires us to let go of something that was to make room for what will be. If you were to take the big leap today, would you feel scared of losing love, safety, or belonging? What if it all was a big fat lie? What if it was impossible to lose any of those things because you have the power to give everything you need to yourself? So I feel like this has definitely been a dominant theme the past few weeks, and kind of will might be for a little while, is to really go into how can we empower ourselves and give ourselves what we need. So addressing what we feel we're losing or perhaps letting go of, and really going to that main theme. Okay, is it safety that I feel like I'm losing? Is it security I feel like I'm losing? Is it love that I feel like I'm losing out on when I say goodbye to this thing that I know is actually not good for me? Really address those underlying reasons why you're wanting to hold on, why you're holding on so tightly, and why it's safe for you now to let them go. So it's really here in creating that environment of safety for yourself and allowing yourself to really go in and get that big picture. Because letting go of these things that we know intuitively that don't align with us anymore is really going to make that shift and make our transition even easier as we move forward into our newest version of self. So what it recommended here on this card, it says today's soul's action, name that fear and look at the worst case scenario. Find a solution. Take your power back by being certain of who you are and where you are going. So a mantra that suggested, I am moving forward knowing that I am powerful beyond measure. I am loved, I am safe, and I belong. Okay? So the other thing was almost like this change in perception. So instead of looking at the negative, the worst case scenario, how can we change that perception to going and finding the good, right? So once more, as we say goodbye to these things, it can be challenging, but try to change that focal point from what you're losing to what you could gain, right? Because when we stay safe in the familiar, we could actually be missing out on something so much better and greater, but we're too afraid to take that leap of faith. So really analyze where your focus is. Is it on what's old and familiar and safe? Or do I need to take that leap in my life? And how can I motivate myself? How can I empower myself to do so? So are you going through some change? Are you feeling scared of letting go? Where is that focus and why? So shifting that focus, endings are actually our new beginnings. So this is worthy of celebration, this transition, even if it doesn't feel like it. But know when you say goodbye to those things and you move forward and take that risk on yourself, know that you have a whole spiritual team supporting you and celebrating you this week, okay? So take those action steps, empower yourself, work with that solar plexus chakra if you need to really help yourself take those next vital steps in your journey, okay? So make a list. This is the other thing I was getting was make a list of all the things you gain from the change you might make, okay? Really allow yourself to go into those manifestations of what could I gain if I actually take this leap, if I take this risk on myself. Could you gain empowerment of self? Could you gain courage? Could you gain, like, what could you gain, right? From taking that leap out of the old familiar and into something new. So really was hearing that amazing things are coming. We just need to start seeing that and allowing that to really permeate our being so we could create those manifestations and have them fully materialize in our life. So the other thing that was coming forward now is this belief in self. So really going in and collecting and gathering the evidence that supports you, supports your strengths, supports how you're courageous, how you're resilient. You know, when a lot of times we dip into fear, it immobilizes us from moving forward. It makes us stand still and become unmovable. But if you start gathering the evidence of the past where life kind of just took you on its ride, you still were strong. You still were able to end up where you are. You were able to overcome so many obstacles in your journey. I can guarantee you have. You are here watching this video, so you've survived, you've triumphed. And start collecting and gathering those tools and evidence that actually support you in your forward journey, to the point of where you go, well, why wouldn't I go for this? Why wouldn't I do that? I'm not going to let fear stand in my way from taking my next steps. And I'm going to say goodbye and have the courage to say goodbye to things that no longer deserve my energy. Okay, so this goes right into the confidence avenue that I was receiving. So really going forward in confidence. So one of the best analogies of confidence when we look at the animal world is our peacock. It tends to be that beautiful symbol of confidence that a lot of times my guides will send me if I'm feeling low. And when we think of a peacock, when we look at the brilliance of them and how they literally strut their stuff, right? So how can we start moving towards that energy in life where we are no longer just, playing it safe in life, but we're actually strutting our stuff. We're showing off our beauty. We're showing off what we can do. So once more, we're moving our energy from the fear and going into love, loving ourselves, enjoying the journey, enjoying what we can offer this world, and really showing it off, my friends. This was so coming forward for us this week. So, removing that fear aspect and going into how can I showcase my talents, my abilities. I am hearing some of you are going, I don't even know what they are. And if that's the case, that's okay. It's maybe time to start experimenting with that. If you're someone you're unsure of what your talents and your gifts are, a great place to start is going, well, what confidence or compliments have I been given throughout the past? What would I consider my strengths are in the workplace as qualities? Am I kind? Am I compassionate? Do I enjoy helping other people? Do I enjoy working with animals? Like really going into what lights up your soul can really uncover so much. And always remember, what lights up your soul is what you're meant to be doing here. So lean into that and allow yourself to gain that confidence to go for it, my friends. I feel like we've had such a strong energy of this coming forward in this new year to really take action, okay? Don't hold back any longer. Spirit sees how capable you are, and it's now time for you to do the same and strut your stuff. Take on that peacock energy. take a picture of a peacock and put it as your screensaver. Do whatever you need to do to remind yourself that you are confident, you are beautiful, and you can succeed. Okay, what a beautiful energy coming forward this week. It makes me so excited. The next thing that was really coming up following from that was getting adventurous. So once more, I'm going to use this analogy of a child. I use this a lot in my podcasts and other things, but it's just so apt. When we look at children, they're not really afraid. They're fearless. A lot of children just go for what they want. They act on instinct, and they constantly expect to receive the best. They constantly expect to receive what they want, because most of the time they do, right? They have needs and we provide them. They never worry about where they're going, how they're going to get there, because they're holding the hands of their guardians, their parents, and they know that they are safe in that. So likewise, I keep seeing Spirit holding our hands. Both of them, both hands are full and being held to move forward. So we need to feel that safety with our spiritual team, you know? So I was really hearing this next little while, allowing yourself to really feel safe wherever you are in your journey, even if you don't know where you're going. And I know that sounds difficult, but the more you interact and the more you engage your guides, the more you're going to be able to feel that safety, that support around you. I definitely am seeing some sessions come up for a lot of you. So if you have a local healer you would like to see, if you have a mentor you want to work with, if you want to book with me for Reiki or connection with your guides and channeling and helping you achieve more of that relationship if you struggle with that, I'm really hearing do that. Okay, this week is the week to do it. Really go deep to help uncover your confidence and your innate ability to connect and feel safe wherever you are. So once more, using that child analogy, they get excited, they get curious, they don't worry about the details because they know they're going to be provided for. They know that they're safe. So once more, I'm being called to tell you this analogy to help you start thinking, what would I do if I knew I was safe in any avenue I chose? What would I do if I knew, guaranteed, everything would just work out for me? And that can really help us go into what feels good, what feels right for us. If there were any limitations, if there weren't anything standing in our way of really pursuing our greatness. And once you've established that, making an action plan towards that. How can I course correct? How can I change gears in my life to more focus on what lights up my soul, that gives me confidence and gives me joy, so you can start living that life that you always dreamed of? And I was really hearing, like, think of life as more of that adventure. So you're not feeling confined, you're not feeling caged, you're not feeling suffocated in life. You're excited about life. You're excited about that next turn in the bend, even if you don't know where it goes, because you know you are safe. So really start looking at life as more of an adventure, my friends, and less of something to suffer through. Okay, so really beautiful advice for this last week of February. Lastly, we had a very strong message that even through all this excitement and through all of this deeper healing and inner work, we need to check in with our physical bodies. This is such a huge theme this past month. I cannot believe how strongly this message is coming through. Really start focusing. How am I feeling physically? And am I getting enough rest to support my forward endeavors? Okay, so just as important as taking action and going forward and really going after our dreams, it is so vital that we rest. It is just as important to repair your physical vehicle, to heal, to allow yourself to do that inner work. So if you're someone you're struggling with time management, really go into your priorities. Myself, I used to use that all the time, especially when I began my spiritual path. I don't have enough time to do my meditation. I don't have enough time to do these things. But in reality, I was putting all my energy towards a job that really wasn't serving me. And I had to be honest about it. I had to start being honest about why I didn't have time. So really going into that honesty aspect this week and prioritizing yourself. And I don't just mean spiritually, I mean physically. Take a soak in the tub, get luxurious, have some essential oils, take your supplements, take your vitamins, get nutrition in, move your body if you feel called, and rest when you feel you need rest, okay? Rest was the biggest one that with the most emphasis here that I was getting. So really rest, rejuvenate yourself, and take those action steps towards doing that so you can be ready for this new influx of new ideas, new action plans, new goals, and you can actually have the energy to put towards them. So very important this last week that we really catch up on our rest and our sleep, okay? We heal the most when we're asleep. So really welcome in those opportunities. And if you need to, prioritize and really get honest with yourself of why you're not prioritizing your health, okay? All right, my friends, that concludes our energy update for this last week of February. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a beautiful week. And if you did enjoy today, please let me know down below. Your comments mean so much to me. Sending you lots of love and light, my friends. Bye.